Okay. Yes, good morning, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. We'll continue the discussion on the filters. So last class we discussed the uh, first and second order low pass filters. So now we'll discuss high pass filter. Of course, first and second order high pass filter. Okay, just wait for just 2 more minutes because in case if students are joining. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. 48 on 48 attendance. Out of that, two is mine entry. Out of 48. Okay. Okay. Next is somebody's on the line. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So second order. Second order filter. And there is a high pass filter. So, as the name suggests, high pass filter will pass the high frequency signal and it will block the low frequency signal. Okay. So, first we start with the high pass first order filter. Of course, Butterworth filter, because why Butterworth filter? As we have understood in the earlier class, Butterworth has a flat response. Okay, so this region is flat. But whereas if you take Chebyshev filter, it will be something like this. The response will be something like this. Okay, so that's why Butterworth filter is preferred over Chebyshev filter. Okay, so frequency. Okay, so for IPAS filter is found by using again resistor and capacitors, just like in a low pass filter. Okay, so first order high pass filter is found from a first order low pass type by interchanging the R and C position. Okay, so let us look into the circuit diagram. Okay, so that's for the previous example. Okay, yes, this is what is the high pass filter, first order high pass filter. If you observe these two components, resistor and capacitor, they are interchanged. Earlier in the low pass filter, resistor comes first, and then the what do you call now capacitor. What is the total count now? 15.9. Okay, so it takes some time to update, number of participants. Okay, here we go. Okay, so low pass filter, resistor comes first, and then comes the capacitor. It acts as a low pass filter. In high pass filter, what happens is that capacitor comes first, then comes the resistance. Okay, so what is the idea behind this? Why it is so, and how this circuit acts as a high pass filter. As we can observe, it is basically a non-inverting amplifier. Why? Because the non-inverting input is connected with the input voltage. Okay, that is the voltage whose frequency varies. Okay, whose frequency varies. Okay, so depending on the component selection, we can use the circuit for either low pass filter or high pass filter or other type of filter like band pass, band stop. Okay, all that is possible. So the feedback is given to inverting input. Okay, you can observe that the feedback is given to inverting input, so that we can control the gain of the operational amplifier, and we have the stabilized operation. Okay, so that's the advantage of having the negative feedback. Okay, so what happens when the capacitor and resistors are placed like this? Okay, so if you observe that when capacitor comes first, then the resistor. Okay, so impedance of the capacitance is 1 by 2 pi fc. Okay, so now what happens is that if you consider the frequency range, okay, okay, then we consider the frequency scale at lower frequency. This is the lower frequency, and this is the higher frequency. At lower frequency, it is similar to that of a DC. I mean, low frequency signal. Of course, low frequency signal cannot be called as a DC, but to start with, the DC signal, that is zero, the frequency is zero. So the frequency of the signal gradually increases. Okay, so as the frequency of the signal increases, what happened to this? This parameter, that is when the frequency increases, denominator component increases, XC decreases. Okay, as the frequency increases, XC factor decreases. Okay, so at lower, that means at lower frequency, the impedance of the capacity is very high. This impedance of the capacitance is very, very high. So at low frequency, the voltage fed to the non-inverting input terminal of the op-amp is very less because of the higher impedance of the capacitance. That means it is as good as saying that it is blocking DC and low frequency signal, very low frequency signal. Okay, so as the frequency increases, impedance of the capacitance decreases. As the impedance of the capacitance decreases, capacitor acts as a AC short. Capacitor acts as a AC short. Very simple. Okay, so that is the basic principle of operation of the circuit. Okay, so the initially at lower frequency, as we have observed, the voltage applied to non-inverting input terminal is very less, and hence output voltage is zero. Okay, so as the frequency increases, the impedance of the capacitance decreases. That is XC, impedance of the capacitance. So the output voltage starts increasing. Okay, as the output voltage increases, gain also increases. Okay, as the output voltage increases, gain also increases. The rate at which this gain increases is plus 20 dB per decade. Okay, so what does this plus indicate? That means the gain is increasing in the positive direction. Okay, so that's the meaning of plus 20 dB per decade for a first order high pass filter. So this region corresponds to stop band, and this region corresponds to pass band, where the signal with the frequency range above this FL, lower cutoff frequency, is passed by the circuit. The signal with the frequency less than FL will be blocked by the circuit, because for those frequencies, capacitance acts as the capacitance possesses very high impedance. Okay. So if you observe, that's the and ideal condition. Of course, this dotted line represents ideal condition, but practically not possible. So what does that indicate is the gain suddenly goes from minimum to maximum within no time, which practically not possible. Okay, that's ideal condition. Okay, so that's what explained here, guys. Okay, so output voltage is V naught is 1 plus. Okay, what is the gain of the amplifier? It is 1 plus RF by R1, because it is a non-inverting amplifier. Okay, so from the combination of resistor and capacitor, there is capacitor first, and then comes the resistor. Okay, this is the resistor. So we can write it as output voltage is equal to gain into input voltage. Okay, so input voltage can be represented like this: J2 pi FRC divided by 1 plus J2 pi FRC. So output by input to represent the gain. Is this is nothing but AF, that is gain of the non-inverting amplifier. This is J into F by FL, that is lower cutoff frequency, and similarly 1 plus J into F by FL. Okay, so from this the gain is gain of the non-inverting amplifier is 1 plus RF by R1, pass band gain of the filter. F is the frequency of the input signal, which varies. Okay, which vary from minimum value to maximum value. FL is the lower cutoff frequency of the filter, represented as 1 by 2 pi RC. Okay. So RC indicates the tau, factor, which determines the the lower cutoff frequency. Okay. The magnitude of the voltage gain is V naught by VL, by taking magnitude F into F by FL. Okay, numerator, denominator, square root of 1 plus F by FL square. So in this case, what should happen, is that as FL increases, okay, you can observe that, as FL increases, because F is, let's say, for a given fixed frequency, of course, for the design values of RNC, FL is also constant value. FL is also constant. So the gain of the filter is a fixed value until and unless this F increases, input frequency increases, because RNC is a fixed quantity. If RNC is not a fixed quantity, as it is shown in this diagram, okay, so R is a variable. Usually, as we have understood in the last class, usually C is kept as a constant value. C will not be used as a variable. Resistance can be used as a variable. Okay, so in that case, what will happen is, so as the resistance varies, this FL component varies. As R varies, FL varies. Okay, for example, as R increases, FL decreases. Okay, as FL decreases, the gain of the amplifier increases. That's what it is. Gain of the, that's pass band gain of the amplifier increases. Okay, so pass band gain of the amplifier increases. Okay, so that's how the amplifier works. Okay, a small design example, for cutoff frequency of 1 kilohertz. Okay, and pass band gain of 2. Okay, so we have to design a high pass filter using RNC combination. Okay, so for this, so the values remains the same, in the as it was designed in the earlier example 7.1. So RNC combination is same. FL and FH are same. There is a 1 kilohertz. C is taken as 0.01 microfarad is the standard value, and R is calculated to be 15.9 kilo, just like what we had in this example. That is example 7.1. So R1 RF is 10 kilo ohm, so that we get a gain of 2. Okay. So because RF by R1 becomes 1, so 1 plus RF by R1 is 1, RF by R1, so it is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. So the gain becomes 2. The gain becomes 2. Okay. So in this case, RNC combination, RNC values are same, but the only thing is their position changes. So for a low pass filter, resistor comes first. This is for the low pass filter. For a high pass filter, the capacitor comes first. Okay. So that it will allow only high frequency signal and block the low frequency signal. Okay. So only the position of resistor and capacitor changes for a given value of cutoff frequency, because cutoff frequency is same. FL is 1 kilohertz. Of course, if this value changes, the RNC combination also changes. The value of RNC also changes. Okay. So let us not worry about this plotting thing. It's not necessary. Plotting, we get a plot of frequency versus magnitude. That we have to understand this one. As the gain. See, you can observe that the frequency started with from 100 hertz, not from 0. So if it started from 0, it would have been something like this. It could have been like this. So it started with 100. At a frequency of 100, the gain is 14 decibel. So the gain continue to increase. Okay. It is negative. Why it is negative is because when the gain becomes negative, gain becomes negative when V0 is less than Vin. When V0 is less than Vin, because we take 20 log gain, 20 log minus V0 by Vin. So V0 by Vin, if it is a fraction, the gain will be in terms of negative. Okay. Whereas if V0 is greater than Vin, then 20 log V0 by Vin is positive. It becomes positive. Okay, you can observe that after the 100 hertz, the gain gradually increases and it becomes positive. Okay, the gain can go up to 6 decibel. Okay, gain becomes constant. At higher frequencies, gain becomes constant. Okay, because we should not think that the gain is negative. Circuit is not filtering the signals. Not like that. It is. It depends on output voltage. With respect to input voltage, magnitude of output voltage with respect to input voltage. Second order high pass filter, Butterworth filter, just like second order low pass filter, this RNC combination is used. Additional RNC combination is used, so that it is used as a second order high pass filter. So with additional component, the difference is that the rise in the gain of the amplifier. Okay, raising the gain of the amplifier is now plus 40 dB per decade. Okay, yes, of course in this textbook the plus and minus is not shown. It is shown in the David Bell book, but I recommend use this operators symbols plus and minus. Okay, it is always a good practice, because we understand that plus indicates always increase in the gain gain of the amplifier. Minus indicates decrease in the gain of the amplifier. So from this plus and minus, you can identify whether it is a low pass filter or a high pass filter. Okay, so this is for the second order high pass filter. So the expression is same, but the only thing here is the gain will be higher. Okay, because of the additional the RNC combination. What we get is additional gain. Okay, so the gain is now AF is 1.586. Gain is 1.586. That is the pass band gain for the second order, but Butterworth filter response. F is the frequency of the input, but here is the divide by 4. To the power 4. Earlier it is to the power 2. Because of the additional RNC combination, this derivation we have seen for the second order low pass filter. Okay, on the same lines we get the expression for the voltage gain of the amplifier. So where FL is the lower cutoff frequency. So using this, I think there's a numerical problem. Determine the lower cutoff frequency FL of the filter shown in figure 7.8. 7, just a second. 7 8 is yeah, here it is. Okay, so for this filter we have to find out the lower cutoff frequency FL. We have to find out FL where RNC combinations are given. There is RNC values are shown. Okay, so from this diagram we know the values of R2 R3 and C2 C3. Okay, so from the values of R2 R3 C2 C3 we can find out the value of FL. FL is approximately 1 kilohertz. Lower cutoff frequency is 1 kilo. The cutoff frequency is 1 kilohertz, but the rate at which the gain increases is now 40 dB per decade, plus 40 dB per decade. 40 dB per decade. In octave, I think it is 16. 16 octave, 16 dB per octave in terms of octave. Okay, so that's how we design the second order high pass filters, Butterworth filters. Okay. So I think the second part of the draw the frequency. Okay, frequency response plot. For that we need to calculate the value voltage gain for a various values of f for a various, and then we have to plot. That you can see it as a observation. How does it varies? I think it's given in figure 7.9. Yeah, here it is. No, not this one. This one. Figure. Yeah, here it is. Is that page missing? Is 264, 265. Okay. Figures. This is table. Yeah, here it is. Sorry. Oh yeah, here it is. So for a second order, high pass filter. So the rate at which the gain increases is plus 40 dB per decade. Okay, so you can see that at 100 hertz frequency the gain is minus 35.9. Okay, so the rate at which it increases is very large. It increases almost at a rate of 40 dB per decade. That we can demonstrate. Okay, so that this the response curve helps in understanding the nature of the variation of frequency against the gain, as well as the rate at which the gain is increasing. Okay, so that is the basic purpose of the plot. Second order high pass Butterworth filters. Okay, higher order filters such as third order, fourth and fifth and so on are formed simply by using first and second order filters. Okay, for example, third order low pass filter is formed by connecting in series cascading first and second order low pass filters. Okay, similarly, fourth order low pass filter is composed of two cascaded second order low pass sections. Okay, and that means it's something like this. Let's say, for example, we need to design a fourth order filter. Okay, so in that case, what we can do is we can use two second order low pass filter. Second order low pass filter in series. Okay, sorry for my mouse. Second order low pass filter. Okay, so we are applying the signal here, signal source. Okay, so this these two low pass filters, second order low pass filters implement fourth order filter, fourth order low pass filter. Okay, this is possible. So that's why we can build. But the problem here is, guys, more the number of filters used, of course, we approach some ideal conditions. Maybe that's possible. Of course, for low pass filter, it is like this. For low pass filter, it will be something like this. Okay, but what happens is that more the RNC combination used, the first thing is power dissipation of the circuit increases because we are using more number of RNC combination. Okay. There is a drawback, but we get an ideal filter response when we go for higher order filters. Okay, there is nth order filter. Okay, that's how it is. Yeah, cascaded. Although there is no limit to the order of the filter that can be formed, as the order of the filter increases, so does its size. Size also means circuit becomes very bulky, especially because of the capacitor. The circuit becomes very bulky. Also, its accuracy declines. In that, the difference between the actual stop band response and the theoretical stop band response increases with an increase in the order of the filter. Okay, so as the order of the filter increases, what happens is the exact stop band, this range may vary. Okay, more the number of stages involved in the circuit. Of course, this this decrease in the gain we will be able to achieve, but there is a variation in the passband region. Okay, so that will automatically affected by the large number of stages, more number of stages. Okay, with increase in the order of the there is a response and the theoretical stop band response increase, the difference between actual stop band. Okay, the range increase, the bandwidth increases. Third order and fourth order, just a second. Third order, fourth order low pass Butterworth filters. Note that the third order filter, the voltage gain of the first order section is 1, and the second order section, okay, likewise. Okay, yeah, okay. And the fourth, okay, here it is. Just a second. Filter, the gain of the section is that of the second section is okay. Yeah, here we go. This is the not this one. Second order low pass section. Okay, okay, here we go. First order low pass section. Okay, so it is a first order low pass filter, and this is the second order low pass filter. Okay, so this is second order low pass filter. Like this, two stages are cascaded. Okay, like this, two stages are cascaded. Okay, to implement fourth order low pass filter, to implement the fourth order low pass filter. Okay, so fourth order low pass filter is increased implemented, but the gain varies. Okay, from first order to second order, here the gain is 1, here the gain is 2. Okay, but as we go further, the gain varies. Gain is not uniform. There is a variation in terms of gain, because of multiple stages are being cascaded. Okay, so the gain of the first section is 1.152. There is a first section is a group of second order filter, while that of the second section is 2.235. The gain values are necessary to guarantee Butterworth response and must remain the same regardless of the filter's cutoff frequency. Okay, so the gain is important to maintain the filter response. Okay, especially for Butterworth filter, the filter response, to maintain the filter response, the gain values are very, very important. Okay, so the overall gain of the filter is equal to the product of the individual. Okay, so the overall gain can be taken by considering the gain of the individual stages. Okay, it's approximately 2.57. Gain of the filter sections. The overall gain of the third order filter is 2, and that of the fourth order filter is the multiplication of the third stage and the fourth stage. It gives 2.57. Okay, so so that's the problem when we go for a multiple stages of the filters. Okay, so from this graph we can observe that third order filter is minus 60 dB per decade, since it's a low pass filter. Fourth order further improves, is a minus 80 dB per decade. Okay, maybe fifth order it will be something like this. Sixth order even further improved. Seventh order maybe something like this. Nth order definitely gives a what you call ideal response, but the problem is the gain varies. Okay, and the circuit becomes very bulky. It becomes more the complexity of the circuit, more is the power dissipated in the circuit. That's the problem. Okay, so frequency determining resistors are equal, and the frequency determining capacitors also equal. So assuming that we can find out the upper cutoff frequency as 1/2 pi RC. Okay, so that's the fourth order filter. First and second order filters, an important point. The third and fourth order filters are found by simply interchanging. Okay, the position of the frequency determining components. For a pass filter, the the components are interchanged. Okay, the higher order filters can be designed by following the procedures outlined in the. Okay, fine. So the higher order filters is fixed because overall gain of the all the frequency existing are equal. Okay, so the gain is fixed. Generally, the minimum order filter required depends on the application specification. Although the higher order filter then necessary gives a better stop band response. That's higher order filters. The higher the order, higher order type filter is more complex, occupies more space, and more expensive. Okay, so that's a drawback. Okay, drawback of going for a higher order filter. But what is the order of the filter necessary? That depends on the application. Okay, so that means if we can manage with some variation in the gain, then it's okay. We can go for a second order filter. That should be good enough. But when better performance is expected, then we have to go for a higher order filter. Next is band pass filter. It has a pass band between two cutoff frequencies. There is a higher cutoff frequency and lower cutoff frequency. Okay, such that higher cutoff frequency is higher, definitely higher cutoff frequency is at a very high level than that of lower cutoff frequency. So any input frequency outside this band is attenuated. Okay, this it should be something like this. So this is the frequency. This is the gain of the filter. Okay, something like something like this. Okay, band pass filter. Okay, so this is FH and this is FL. Okay, so the signals with which are in the range of FL to FH are allowed by the filter. Behind this is the pass band. This is the pass band. Frequency is higher than FH. Okay, the signals with the frequency higher than FH and lower than FL are blocked by the pass band filter. Very simple. And it's also called as a band pass filter. Pass band pass, they're all same. So in some textbooks they use pass band filters also. Okay. So there are two types of band pass filters. There is the way band pass filters are implemented. It can be like wide band pass filter and what is known as a narrow band pass filter. Okay, so as the name suggests, what is wide band filter and see wide band, this pass band range is very large. That means FH minus FL is, there is bandwidth is very large. Okay, FH minus FL is very large. Okay, so this is a wide band pass filter. Wide band pass. Narrow band pass filter, it may be something else. It is very narrow. FH and FL is very close, we can say. FH and FL, they are very close. Okay, so the pass band is very small. So based on this, we can have a wider band pass filter or narrow band pass filter. Okay, so there is no set dividing line between the two because band pass is a band pass filter. Okay, depending on our requirement, we have to go for this selection of filter which gives a required amount of pass band range. Okay, here we go. A filter as yes, just a second. Let me take some water. Okay, here we go. So yeah. Okay, so filter has a wideband pass. If its figure of merit or quality factor is Q less than 10. Okay, there is we can call a band pass filter as a wideband pass filter if it is Q less than 10. If Q is greater than 10, we can say that it is a narrow band pass filter. Okay, so Q is a measure of selectivity. The higher the value of Q, the more selective is the filter or the narrower the bandwidth. Say that Q higher, that means see the meaning of Q is that we want a particular frequency. Only particular frequency to be allowed. Let's say I want to allow only the frequency 2 kilohertz. The signal with the frequency 2 kilohertz is passed. Anything less than 2 kilohertz or anything frequency greater than 2 kilohertz is blocked. That is with the highest Q measure of sensitivity. It's okay if I say okay, if it is anywhere from 1 kilohertz to 3 kilohertz is okay. Let's say this is 1 kilohertz range, 1 kilohertz, and this is, let's say, higher pass band is 3 kilohertz, and then Q is smaller. Okay, Q is lower. Okay, so quality of measurement is low. Okay, so then we actually arrive at a band pass filter. Okay, so Q is more selective. Filter is a bandwidth narrow band filter. So the relationship between Q, 3 dB bandwidth, and the cutoff frequency FC is given by Q is equal to the relation between quality factor and the cutoff frequency. And okay, what is sorry, not cutoff frequency? It is center frequency. No, it's not cutoff frequency. Sorry, it is center frequency. So this is the center frequency, guys. So this what you can see here. Let's say I said 2 kilohertz. I want only 2 kilohertz signal to be passed. That is FC, cutoff center frequency. So the center frequency, with respect to the center frequency, the width of the passband filter is measured. Okay, so even the wideband filter also will have a center frequency. Okay? The center frequency is average of FH and FL. It is nothing but average of FH and FL. FH plus FL divided by 2. That gives the but not exactly. It can vary, but ideally it should be the average of FH and FL. So Q is equal to FC divided by bandwidth. Bandwidth is FH minus FL. Okay. So bandwidth is fixed. See, for example, if a bandwidth is fixed, so the quality factor depends on the center frequency. Okay. So we want only the FC. Let us say we want only 2 kilohertz signal to be passed. Okay. Then the quality factor should be very, very high. That's what it is. Okay. Because this, say, if then it is a narrowband pass filter. If it is a narrowband pass filter, this difference is very, very small. That means denominator is very, very small. Q should be very, very large. Q should be very, very large. If this bandwidth is larger, that is, if the the passband range is larger, then the Q is very, very small. Q is smaller. That's what it is. Okay. So that's the relation between the quality of merit of the filter and center frequency and the bandwidth of the filter. Okay, so for wideband pass filter, FC is is given as square root of FH and FL. Okay, that's why I said this FC is not exactly the average of this, but we can take it as approximately. We can average. We can consider this as the average of the passband range. Okay, but may not be the case always. Okay, so that's why it is a FC is the square root of FH and FL. So it's not exactly the average of FH and FL. So FH is the higher cutoff frequency, FL is the lower cutoff frequency of the passband range. Listen, just a second, somebody's on the door. Just a second. क्या गया ನಾನು ಕಂಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಳ್ಸೋಣ ಪಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನೇ Thank you. Yes. Wait, sorry, somebody was on the door. So okay, yeah, here we go. Okay. I was discussing. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So see, pass filter, the output voltage peaks at the center. So narrowband pass filter, the it is like something like this, Okay, it is something like a peaking effect. It will have something like a peaking effect. So at center frequency, it is FC. Okay, so there is a peaking effect. Okay, so in case of a narrow band pass filter, the output voltage peaks at the center frequency. So output voltage will be very high. So then we can determine it as we can call it as a narrow band pass filter. Okay, so wide band pass filter. So as the name suggests, the pass band range is very high. The wide band pass filter is formed by cascading high pass, and low pass section, and is generally the choice for simplicity of the design and performance. Okay? So by combining high pass and low pass filter, we can construct the wide band pass filter. This is, so we are discussing for the what is known as band pass filter. Okay, one is wide band pass filter, the other is the narrow band pass filter. The design of wide band pass filter and the narrow band pass filter. So wide band pass filter can be designed using high pass filter and a low pass filter. Why it is so? Because if you observe, the high pass filter, is something like this. This is the high pass filter. Low pass filter, it will be like something like this. Low pass filter. When we merge these two, what will happen is we get a what is known as both high pass filter and band pass low pass filter, we get effective filter called as a band pass filter. Okay, so this is a combination of both. So this is actually high pass filter, and on this side we have low pass filter. Here at the center we have what is known as band pass filter. So we can implement band pass filter using low pass filter as well as high pass filter. Of course, by proper say this frequency selection is important. This frequency selection matters. This is FH and this is FL. So frequency selection is very important. Okay. So at what frequency the higher cutoff frequency is determined, and at what frequency the lower cutoff frequency has to be determined. So this is very important factor in the design of a band pass filter. Okay. Yeah. So to obtain 20 dB per decade band pass filter, so for that we have to go for a first order high pass and low pass filter. Okay. If you want 40 dB band pass filter, then we have to go for a second order low pass and high pass filter. Obviously, because this range this range varies. This range at rate at which this band pass filter should vary. That depends on the order of the either low pass filter or the high pass filter. Okay. So if you want 20 dB per decade, first order band pass filter, then we have to go for a first order low pass filter as well as first order high pass filter. Okay. So in other words, the order of the band pass filter depends on the order of the low pass and high pass, because it is constructed from a low pass and high pass filter. So and hence order also depends on that. Okay. Okay. So 20 dB. Okay. So in this figure, 20 dB per decade band pass filter is shown. 20 dB means it's a first order filter. Okay. So it consists of first order high pass filter and first order low pass filter. Okay. So for band pass filter, the upper cutoff frequency is FH and the lower cutoff frequency is FL. What is important is, in this case, the design FH should be greater than FL. If FH is less than FL, then it is a band stop filter that we'll discuss next. Okay, so that's why this is important. This condition is important. that FH should be greater than FL. High pass filter, sorry, that is band pass filter. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so one stage is the first order high pass filter section, and next is the first order low pass filter section. Okay, so just like what we have written here. So first is the high pass filter section, then comes the low pass. This has to be combined to get a band pass filter. Okay, first order high pass and first order low pass filters are combined to generate a band pass filter. Okay, so the resultant band pass filter, the rise, the rate at which the gain rises is 20 dB per decade. That is plus 20 dB per decade. The rate at which the gain decreases after FH, that is higher frequency is higher than FH, the gain reduces at a rate of minus 20 dB per decade. Okay. So this is a stop band. That is frequency less than FL is the stop band. It will be stopped. Frequency greater than FH will be again blocked by the filter. Frequency between FH and FL will be allowed by the filter. That is called as a pass band filter. No, sorry, pass band range. It is called as a pass band range. Okay. So frequency response. Okay. Yes. Here we go. So design of a wide band pass filter. So frequency FL is 200 Hertz, FH is 1 kilohertz. Okay, and pass band gain is 4. Calculate. Okay, so draw the frequency response plot and the Q of the filter. Okay, so for low pass, for a band pass filter, upper cutoff frequency is 1 kilohertz. That means upper cutoff frequency is provided. This okay. Who will provide the upper cutoff frequency? If you we have to decide from this circuit. This low pass filter. Okay, first high pass filter section. Okay, it is something like this. Sorry, I'm writing low pass for this. Sorry. So this is the high pass section. It is like this. Okay, that means this should be FL. Okay, this is the low pass filter. This should be FH. When these two are merged, okay, it should be something like this. When these two are merged, it should be like, there is this is the high pass and this is the low pass. Okay, so low pass will implement FL. Okay, I'm sorry, high pass. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying low pass. So this high pass filter will implement FL. This is FL. And the low pass will implement FH. Low pass will implement FH. Okay, so we get band pass filter. Okay, so FH is implemented by low pass filter, and FL will be implemented by high pass filter. This is determined by high pass filter. Okay, so FH in our case is 1 kilohertz. That is cutoff frequency of the low pass filter should be 1 kilohertz, and cutoff frequency of the high pass filter should be 100 hertz, 200 hertz. It is 200 hertz. It is 200 hertz. Okay. So based on that, we have to design the low pass and the high pass filters based on the cutoff frequency. It is a cutoff frequency of the low pass and the high pass filter, which gives the band pass filter. So FH is 1 kilohertz. That is the cutoff frequency of the high pass. Low pass filter. Cutoff frequency of the low pass filter. So the same value of, okay, so for 1 kilohertz, the low pass filter is already designed, 1 kilohertz. So RNC values are known. There is 15.9 kilo ohm. It is a potentiometer, that's why the standard value is not used. C is 0.01 microfarad. Okay. So for high pass filter, high pass filter was also designed for 1 kilohertz. Now for high pass filter, cutoff frequency is FL, and the frequency is 200 hertz. 200 hertz. For this 200 hertz, RNC combination has to be designed. Okay, for high pass filter. Okay, so for high pass filter with a frequency of 200 hertz, C is first initialized, is assumed to be a standard value, that is 0.05 microfarad. So from this formula, there is FL is known. FL is 200 hertz. 200 hertz. C is initialized. Determined. Assumed. C is assumed. So from this, we can find out the value of R. R is 1 by 2 pi. Frequency is 200 hertz. and 5 microfarad, sorry, 0.05 microfarad. R value is 5.9 kilo ohms. It is again a potentiometer. Okay, so we have to use a 20 kilo ohm potentiometer. Our standard value potentiometer available for that particular range to cover that particular range. Okay, so the passband gain is 4. The gain of the high pass as well as low pass section could be equal to 2 because gain factors will be multiplied. What happens to the gain is, gain will multiply. So the gain, overall gain of the band pass filter or pass band filter is a multiplication of gain of the high pass filter as well as low pass filter. It is equal to 4. It is equal to 4. Okay. So we have to design these filters for a gain of 2 each. Okay. Each filter should have a gain of 2. Okay. So then overall gain will become 4. Overall gain of the band pass filter will become 4. Okay. So the input feedback resistance must be equal in value. That is RF is equal to R1, so that the gain will be equal to 2. Okay, each stage. Okay, say 10 kilo ohm, so that we can achieve gain of 2 in each stage, so that overall gain becomes 4. Okay, so next is to plot the frequency curve. Okay, and the third point is the FC, calculation of FC. What is FC, guys? Center frequency. So for center, because we need to find out Q, so for that we need FC by bandwidth. FC by bandwidth, there is FH minus FL. So FC is square root of FH into FL, which gives 447.2 hertz. Okay, so from this value of FC, center frequency, we can find out the value of Q. So Q is 447.2 divided by 1000 minus 200. Okay, it's around 0.556. Okay, so what does this Q indicates? Q less than 10. Okay, since it is Q less than 10, it is a wide band pass filter. Whereas if it is Q greater than 10, then it is a narrow band pass filter. Then it will be a narrow band pass filter. Okay. So if Q is to be greater than 10, what should be very high? This FC should be very high, or else this difference should be very low. For example, like 1000 minus 900 or 950. Okay, it will make this denominator very small. If this denominator is very small, Q is very, very large. That means it is a narrow band pass filter. It is a narrow band pass filter. Okay. Now what we have is a wide band pass filter. Wide band pass filter is FH is 1000 hertz. That's 1 kilohertz, and FL is 200 hertz. FL is 200 hertz. 200. It's a wide band pass filter. Okay, so that's how the filter range changes. This is frequency. Okay, frequency response plot. From this values, the plot is obtained. It is shown like this. Since it's a wide band pass filter. Okay, here's one more last point we have to understand is from peak value of the filter. From peak, we have to go 3 dB down. Okay. So go 3 dB down, write an horizontal line. So there we get what is known as FL and FC. FL and FH. Okay. Why we have to go 3 dB down? Why not we take from this point? The reason is that 3 dB down, the power will be off. So with respect to that point, we can find out the bandwidth of the band pass filter. Okay. That's how it is. Okay, so this is about band pass filter. That is wide band pass filter. Next is narrow band pass filter. Okay, so this discussion. Okay, this we'll take up in the next class. There is numerical problems also. So next in the next class we can discuss band reject filters also. And all pass filter. So we have a narrow band reject filter, and we have what is known as a all pass filter. Okay, so in the next class we will try to complete the filter part. So with that, in the second module we are left with if that completes the second the part of the second module, and then we can start the voltage regulator. Okay, so this will complete the possibly in one class. I'll try to complete the filter part. So then we can start with the DC voltage regulator. Okay, so this DC voltage regulator textbook pages also I have shared in the same file, so that you can refer. You can study from that. In possibly in 1 or 2 days, I'll be sharing the textbook pages for the third module. Okay, I've taken the scan, but I need to make some. I need to do some editing. So if that is done, and possibly in a day or two, I'll be sharing the textbook pages for the third module, if possible, even the fourth as well as fifth module. Okay, let us see how it goes. Okay, guys, thank you all. Stay home, stay safe. Take care. Good day.
Sir, question bank.
Question bank ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, so we have to prepare. ಅದೇ question bank, we can take it from this actually is I think order question bank is available, but I think I need to modify a little because earlier we didn't refer this this Ramakant Gaikwad textbook. So since this time I'm referring this, accordingly I need to modify the and I need to discuss with the other faculty in the other section. Earlier there was Satish sir. Now new faculty has come. I need to discuss with sir, and then I need to finalize the question bank. I need to prepare that anyway. That needs some changes. Once it is done, I'll share with you guys. It's okay.
Okay, sir.
ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಸರಿ ಆಕಾಶ ಅದು ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆಪ್ಪ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. See you all. Take care. Bye.